on an all-new Dr. Phil.
He claims his ex-wife,
you called her every vile name you could think of,
turned his twin daughters
I told him that my stepdad felt more like a dad to me than he did.
against him.
Stacy told me I should kill myself because my daughters would be better off without me.
I never said those words to you.
I know what I heard.
You can sit there like Mother Teresa, but you're calling him a rat.
They don't want a relationship with you.
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you.
Well, 17-year-old twins, Autumn and Madison, have stopped speaking to their father, Chad, and they say they no longer want him in their lives. But according to the girls, he continues to call, message them on social media, even show up at their school events unannounced. Now, Chad blames the twins' mom, Stacy, for his daughters just erasing him from their lives. But Stacy claims Chad lies about everything, and he needs to stop stalking, harassing, and intimidating her and the twins. Take a look.
My ex-husband Chad is manipulative, untrustworthy. He's a pathological liar, but he's also charming. I met Chad when I was 21. We got pregnant fairly quickly. We had the girls in 2001, and I filed for divorce in 2011. There was still the constant fighting. He was checking up on me. He had other people checking up on me. When Chad is angry, he would lash out. His favorite thing to say about me is that I've been on more hot dogs than ketchup. And that implies that I'm a hoe. What's frustrating to me is that I've done everything I can think of to help Chad be a good dad. When you cook, you gotta start making some recipes. Now that the girls are older, they've started to see things for themselves and who Chad really is. They've been there while he's used women, while he calls women degrading names. The girls are scared at times to see him. He's got a pretty bad temper. They never know from one second to the next if he's going to be the fun dad or if he's going to be screaming at them. The girls have made a decision that they don't want to see their dad right now, and they don't know if they want to see him in the future. He has messaged them on social media sites. He started showing up at their events. My daughters were practicing with the marching band in this field up here, and Chad was sitting over here watching them. They are paranoid to run into him. I tell them to be respectful to their dad, but I struggle because I know what he's capable of.
Well, Stacy, these girls are 17, right?
Yes.
Okay, so they're young women. These aren't infants. These aren't
Correct.
adolescents. These are young women.
Yes.
Do they think for themselves?
They do.
And have you had a conversation with them that alienates them from their father?
Of course not. I actually do the opposite. You know, I grew up without a dad, and I think it's very important for my daughters to have their dad. But enough is enough. I'm tired of feeling like I have to protect them. I'm tired of him lying about me, about the girls, to everyone that will listen. The girls get harassed from other people because of the things that he says.
Well, have you pulled them, have either of you, you or Chad, pulled them into adult issues between the two of you?
Chad has. I haven't. When they were younger, he would tell them things. You know, he would tell me when he was mad at me for whatever made-up reason. He would tell me he would try to make them hate me. And I would have to have conversations with them. You know, they're kids. They were kids at that time. It was middle school. They needed to stay kids. So I would tell them, if you ever have questions, you can ask me. I will always be honest. But if I feel you're too young to know, I'm just going to tell you that. So I just said, you know me. You trust me. That's all you need to know.
We've talked to your daughters. They have told us some really terrible things that he said about you.
Yes.
How do they know that?
He tells them. He tells them those things about me. I don't tell them what he says.
They say that you have shared with them some of the things that he has said about you to them in text messages or letters, things that he's said about you, things that you've given them a slanted view, and you haven't shared with them what you've said about him, but you've said some things to them that he said about you in frustration.
No, actually, I don't tell them those things. I don't feel like they should know. The things that they've read one text message conversation, and it was not about me. What the conversation was after the girl stopped talking to him, he was posting some things on social media about me. So, like, the girls and their dad got into a huge fight. I wasn't there. I had nothing to do with it. And when they decided they didn't want to talk to him, they wanted a break, he was posting things online about how I'm an abusive mother and I'm keeping them from him.
Well, here's a text from Chad to Autumn and Madison, your twins. It says, and FYI, beauties, you seem to think I'm this horrible person, especially because your mom's been showing you things I've said to her. She is also helping to paint me out as a bad person. I've said some mean things to her, yes, but I'm sure she never told you about how she wished I'd kill myself. That's just one of many things that go unheard because everyone wants to believe I'm some horrible person.
Yes, I remember that message.
Okay.
And it didn't make any sense because the girls chose not to talk to him. I had absolutely nothing to do with that situation. And so when they were...
Have you been showing them things that he has said to you?
No, there was only one conversation ever that I showed them, and it was about the post that he was posting about me. Autumn came to me and she's like, Mom, I don't understand. Why is he saying these things? Because I had absolutely nothing to do with the situation. And so I messaged him. And because he had twisted everything and I told him to kill himself, which I would never say that to anybody, I showed her the messages. So there was no lines crossed, and that was just that one conversation.
Do you not want to have a relationship with your father?
As of right now, neither of us want to see him.
I told him that my stepdad felt more like a dad to me.
Did you say that to inflict pain on him in that moment? And later, you call her every vile name you could think of.
Stacy said, maybe you should kill yourself because then your daughters wouldn't have to deal with you anymore.
I never, ever said those words to you.
I know what I heard that night.
If you ever found out that Marcel cheated on you, would you leave him?
I think that was too far.
If you thought part one was shocking,
it became a thing, a really big thing.
I get ganged up on.
Love and Marriage Huntsville is back.
And see if Melody ever held accountability for anything ever.
With more.
They're both wrong.
Reunion.
Don't play with me, girl.
Drama.
You call me all the time about other issues, do you not?
Love and Marriage Huntsville. New Reunion Part 2. Saturday at 8/7 Central.
In D.C.
They're claiming the Samuels are looking to divorce.
Him and his dad are not speaking.
Wait. Welcome.
We're going to be out on our own little island. It's called peace.
I'm going to go before I whip your ass.
The sisterhood just went out the window.
I'm back. Then own that. And again, and again, and again.
Love and Marriage D.C. returns Saturday, January 21st at 8/7 Central. Today, women with nighttime urinary incontinence don't have to wake up wet. Introducing the PureWick system, an innovative breakthrough system for managing female urinary incontinence at night.
Morning, Mom. Good morning. How did you sleep? Better, thank you. Oh, I'm so glad.
The PureWick system works outside the body to draw urine away, helping to keep skin dry and control odor. The PureWick system is a non-invasive option for management of moderate to severe urinary incontinence, helping to reduce the need for multiple changes at night or trips to the bathroom. Now, staying dry can be one less thing to lose sleep over.
Call 800-705-8502 or go to purewickathome.com to see how you can save up to 10%. So call 800-705-8502 or go to purewickathome.com.
There is nothing hotter than real, honest to goodness love.
I was made for this.
Get with it or get lost.
You dropped the ball big time.
I'm throwing y'all my very own Miami yacht party.
It just shook up all of the dynamics.
Y'all ready for this?
People love Denia.
It's right there in her diary. I want to be a famous actor, singer, producer. One day she goes, hey, my agent wants me to go to this cheerleading audition.
Santana wasn't supposed to be this big character on the show.
It was obvious to me that she was going to be a big star.
And then all of a sudden, Naya Rivera was reported missing.
They were praying that she would be found.
The Price of Glee, 3-part limited series, Monday, January 16th at 9 on ID.
Now, Autumn and Madison say it is not their mom's fault that they don't have a relationship with their father. Take a look at what they have to say.
Our dad is clingy, judgmental, controlling, toxic, and very disrespectful. He would worry more about having fun than taking care of me. My sister and I never felt appreciated by my dad because he would always put girls first. We'd be at dinner and he would be on his phone swiping on girls on Tinder. I've seen a temper in my dad multiple times. One time he was verbally abusive to me to the point that it was so loud that the neighbors had to knock on the wall to have us quiet down, and he held me down. He kind of like laid on me and was like holding me down, like yelling at me like really close to my face. Another fight we had was over my sister and I's birthday weekend. He had told us specifically that there were gonna be no boyfriends except the three of us. He invited a girl that my sister and I didn't know, which was hypocritical because he had just told us that it was just gonna be the three of us. We were in the car afterwards and he asked if I had fun. And I said, no, I didn't have fun. You paid all of your attention to this random girl. But it escalated very quickly into an argument, into screaming, and I was bawling my eyes out. The fight ended when I was telling him that my stepdad felt like more of a dad to me than he did. And it's the last time my sister and I have seen him. I don't speak to my dad, and I haven't spoken to him for 8 months. I feel in my heart that I don't want a relationship with my dad. He should have learned how to parent his kids correctly. He thinks that my sister and I want to see him, and he is putting all of this blame on my mom. None of this is my mom's fault. The reason my sister and I feel the way that we do is because of his actions alone.
Well, thank you guys for being here. I'm loath to pull children into the middle of a tug-of-war between divorced parents. And I only do this in this situation because of two things. One, you're already there. And what I want to do is get you out. And two, you're very mature young ladies. So do you not right now want to have a relationship with your father? Do you both feel the same way, or do you have different levels of animosity?
I think we feel the same about not, like, as of right now, neither of us want to see him.
And how do you feel?
I haven't wanted a relationship with him since we stopped talking in March, and it hasn't changed.
And why did you stop talking in March? What happened?
We got into a big fight over what we were doing, so I wanted to go to a funeral, and he said I couldn't go because it was a family weekend, so I was like, okay, that's fine. So then we went bowling, just the three of us, and a girl showed up that we had never met, and I was very upset, and I told him that, and it was just a big argument. I told him that my stepdad felt more like a dad to me in that moment than he did.
I can tell you as a dad that hearing someone say, this guy's more of a dad to me than you are, would be, I mean, that's like driving a stake through the heart of any father. Mm-hmm. Did you say that to inflict pain on him in that moment? Were you really angry? And
no, I never meant it to inflict pain on anybody. I just said what I was feeling in the moment, and what I felt was that he wasn't being the dad that should be there when someone else is.
But in retrospect, you understand that to a father, that's like the ultimate
Yes, and I didn't realize
insult.
that at the time.
Now, Chad says Stacy is controlling, bitchy, stubborn, and in his words, her co-parenting sucks. Now, he hasn't seen the girls in 8 months. He's here, and they're going to face each other next. And you know he's here, right?
Yep.
And you're okay with him being here, right?
Yeah.
I think your dad deserves to be heard. Yeah. And I think one of the reasons that I like for people to come here to talk about this, well, there are two reasons. One is it's a teaching tool because there are lots of families at home that are in similar situations, and this applies to a lot of what's going on there. Mm-hmm. And two, this is a safe place to talk about hard things. And this is a safe place because he will respect this place. I know that he will. I've been doing this a long time. And I think he will respect this forum, and I think he will conduct himself accordingly. I have every confidence that he will. And if that doesn't prove to be the case, then I'll intercede and we'll do some different way. So I'm here to be a buffer, okay? If you're going to do it, this is the place to do it, okay?
Yep.
We'll be right back.
The last time I saw my daughters was 8 months ago on their birthday weekend. We had a blowout that night, and that was the last time that I've spoken to them. I was on the phone with Stacy. She told me that I should just go ahead and kill myself because my daughters would be better off without me.
And later,
if you're just some evil guy that doesn't care about anybody's feelings but your own, then I want you to leave us alone.
You're calling him a rat bastard, and you can sit there like Mother Teresa.
They don't want a relationship with you.
If you ever found out that Marcel cheated on you, would you leave him?
I think that was too far.
If you thought part one was shocking,
It became a thing, a really big thing. I get ganged up on.
Love and Marriage Huntsville is back.
And see if Melody ever held accountability for anything ever.
With more
They're both wrong.
reunion,
Don't play with me, girl.
drama.
You call me all the time about other issues, do you not?
Love and Marriage Huntsville, new reunion part 2, Saturday at 8/7 Central.
To Beth for telling us about Peptiva Nighttime Probiotics.
To Beth.
Welcome, ladies. You know, the best thing about Peptiva is that I can digest food like a kid again.
No, the best thing is that I get to sleep like a kid again.
Digestion.
Ladies, with Peptiva, you get both.
Peptiva is the first doctor-formulated probiotic that works at night with key ingredients backed by 7 clinical studies. And right now, you can get a complimentary sample by texting BANK to 321321. Peptiva works while you sleep to soothe indigestion, cramping, bloating, even constipation, while promoting digestive health. And it has time-released melatonin to help you get the best sleep of your life.
Okay, girls, what do we have next week?
Tacos.
Wings chili.
Peptiva is flying off the shelves at GNC, but you can only get your complimentary sample by texting BANK to 321321. Text now, and we'll include a box of Peptiva digestive enzymes to help your body digest meals and avoid occasional gas and discomfort absolutely free. That's BANK to 321321.
Coming January 21st.
The Samuels are looking to, the D word, divorce, separate, something like that.
Did they say divorce or separate? What? We just had a whole show prep with our producer, and no one told me we was gonna bring us up live on the air today.
She says that her and her husband are trying to fix their marriage and denying any divorce rumors.
All marriages go through stuff. Does that mean we're separated, getting divorced? Absolutely not.
Love and Marriage DC. New episodes, Saturday, January 21st at 8/7 Central.
People love Denia.
It's right there in her diary. I want to be a famous actor, singer, producer. One day she goes, hey, my agent wants me to go to this cheerleading audition.
Santana wasn't supposed to be this big character on the show.
It was obvious to me that she was gonna be a big star.
And then all of a sudden, Naya Vera was reported missing.
They were praying that she would be found.
The Price of Glee, 3-part limited series, Monday, January 16th at 9 on ID.
I can't believe we're cleaning LeBron's house.
How about we throw a party?
My dad would send my sister and I voicemails of him crying.
I miss you, and I love you, and I hope everything's going okay for you, okay? I hope to talk to you later.
I feel bad. Because, like, this shouldn't be happening.
He knows how emotional my sister and I are, and he knows that a voicemail of him crying can just make us feel bad.
Well, Autumn and Madison say their father has hurt them time and time again. So they really reluctantly cut their father out of their lives 8 months ago. Now, Chad then filed contempt charges against their mom, Stacy, for not allowing his visitations, which are court-ordered. Now, Chad says Stacy tries to control everything and keeps putting their daughters in the middle. Let's hear what he has to say.
Co-parenting with Stacy sucks. I have to fight tooth and nail to get my kids if she gets angry at me. There are some text messages that were pretty rude that I sent to Stacy, and then she turned around and showed my daughters those text messages. My daughters didn't need to see that. The last time I saw my daughters was 8 months ago on their birthday weekend. We had a blowout that night. They told me that their stepdad was more like their real dad, and that's what really set me off. I was on the phone with Stacy. She told me that I should just go ahead and kill myself because my daughters would be better off without me. My daughters have blocked me on multiple social media platforms. My daughters have made this decision based on input from their mom and from their stepdad. I know that Stacy and the girls think that I'd stalk my daughters, but that's not the case. I was playing Frisbee golf and saw my daughters practicing for band. I sat on a picnic bench and I watched them. I took a few pictures of them, but I had no intentions of going up and talking to them. My relationship with my daughters is broken, and I feel that it's everyone's fault.
Well, Chad, thanks for joining us. You've been listening, right?
Yes, I have.
Why do you think that Stacy has interfered with your relationship?
For one, big thing is the text message that she showed my daughters.
What was the essence of that message? Because that one we don't have. What was the guts of that that was toxic for them to see?
I called her a word.
Okay.
A bitch.
So you spoke derogatorily about her in anger?
Yeah, very much so. Yep.
All right. And she showed that to the girls?
Correct.
Uh-huh. Is that true?
No. The message that I showed Autumn was just his explanation to me about the social media posts he was posting about toward me. Mm-hmm. She was really upset when she saw them, and she's like, why is he posting these? So I asked him about it. He gave me an explanation. That is what I showed her, because she wanted to know. And every time I feel like we have a conversation, he twists what's said. I mean, I'm not always nice to him either. I have a temper, and I feel like I protect my daughters. So, I mean, she saw both sides, and that's what I wanted her to see. I didn't want her to feel like either one of us were twisting the reason.
Why did you say the things that you said to her when you called her the names?
Because the night of the argument, which was approximately March 3rd, it was 2 days before the girls' birthday, and I had them for their birthday weekend. After we had our disagreement and our falling out, while the girls were inside getting their stuff, like I had told them to do, I called Stacy on the phone. While I was on the phone with Stacy, I told her, hey, you know, we need to do group counseling, something to get this resolved, because it's not going to resolve itself. Because she was telling me that the girls had a lot of issues with me. I was like, okay, let's do some group sessions, let's get this resolved. I was like, you know, there might come a day, hell, it could be tomorrow, where I might not even be here anymore. And Stacy said, maybe you should kill yourself, because then me and your daughters wouldn't have to deal with you anymore.
Mm-hmm. I never, ever said those words to you.
I know what I heard that night.
I know that's what you heard.
And I can't prove it because it was over the phone and not in text messages, so the words weren't there like...
I would never say that to anybody, especially the father of my children. That's horrible.
Your response to that was to call her every vile name you could think of.
Well, that, and I was also out in Philadelphia for work, and she was telling me that I needed to go find Autumn's retainer. I told her I looked for it already. I can't find it. I was like, take Autumn over to my mom's and look for it. And she's like, no, you and your mom need to find it or you're going to buy a new one.
Coming up, Madison and Autumn say there's another man in their lives who they consider to be really significant. We're going to talk about that with Chad when we come back, but I've got some questions for these two.
Chad makes the girls feel guilty about how they feel about Josh.
Josh has kind of been my rock.
Bye. Love you guys. Good luck.
Love you. Thank you.
Me too.
Autumn and Madison, they are probably some of the most fun people that you could ever hope to be around.
I'd realized that that was the kind of dad that I wanted in my life.
Closed captioning provided by...
This is your chance. You keep her alive. Save her. You can save her.
If you've come this far, then you know what's out there.
You have a greater purpose than any of us could have ever imagined.
If you ever found out that Marcel cheated on you, would you leave him?
I think that was too far.
If you thought part 1 was shocking,
It became a thing, a really big thing.
I get ganged up on.
Love and Marriage Huntsville is back
And see if Melody ever held accountability for anything ever.
with more
They're both wrong.
reunion
Don't play with me, girl.
drama.
You call me all the time about other issues, do you not?
Love and Marriage Huntsville, new reunion part 2, Saturday at 8/7 Central.
People gonna talk in D.C.
They're claiming the Samuels are looking to divorce.
Him and his dad are not speaking.
Wait. Welcome.
We're gonna be out on our own little island. It's called peace.
I'm gonna go before I whip your
The
ass.
sisterhood just went out the window.
I'm back. And own them.
And again.
Love and Marriage DC returns Saturday, January 21st at 8/7 Central.
I can't believe we're cleaning LeBron's place. LeBron who?
James! How about we throw a party in the king's house?
Hi.
He's a white man.
Oh, man, we going to jail, Kim.
Is LeBron home? I was hoping to show him something.
Yo, man, whoa.
Sign my jurors.
He got a hologram of himself.
Your hairline is perfect. Anyone who says otherwise is just jealous.
Nah.
House Party, rated R. Only in theaters January 13th.
People love Denia.
It's right there in her diary. I want to be a famous actor, singer, producer. One day she goes, hey, my agent wants me to go to this cheerleading audition.
Santana wasn't supposed to be this big character on the show.
It was obvious to me that she was going to be a big star.
And then all of a sudden, Nair Vera was reported missing.
They were praying that she would be found.
The Price of Glee, 3-part limited series, Monday, January 16th at 9 on ID.
I kneel before no one. I was a slave until I died. Then I was reborn a god.
Would you be interested in having an affair?
You need to be willing to bend the rules.
You have no idea what loss is.
I can't believe we're cleaning LeBron's house.
How about we throw a party here?
We got a big surprise. Gage is gonna be a big brother.
1,000-Pound Sisters, season premiere, January 17th at 9 on TLC.
Stacy decided to end her marriage to Chad in 2011. She now has a new husband, Josh, who has been in the twins' lives for the last 5 years. Now, Madison and Autumn even say that he's more of a father figure than they see their actual father, Chad. Take a look.
Before I knew Josh, I didn't know what a good father figure was because of how my dad was. And when I met Josh, I realized that that was the kind of dad that I wanted in my life. Josh has been very supportive through all of this. He has kind of been my rock. He is the dad that I've kind of always wanted because he's always been supportive. He always lets me know that I'm cared for and that I'm loved, and I never really felt that.
Bye. Love you guys. Good luck.
Love you. Thank you.
Me too.
Autumn and Madison, they are probably some of the most fun people that you could ever hope to be around. I feel very blessed to be in their lives.
My stepdad does things that a father should be doing, like take me to appointments. If I'm having a bad day, he'll send me a text saying, I love you, just know that I'm thinking of you.
Well, Autumn and Madison are my daughters. There's no two ways about that.
Our family works for a lot of reasons. We're a family. We've always known that.
The girls think so highly of my husband, but Chad makes the girls feel guilty about how they feel about Josh. Josh has been a godsend to me and my children.
This is a painful thing to you, right?
Yes. You hit it right on about just driving a dagger right in. I mean, no parent wants to hear that. Yeah, I've made mistakes. All of us have. No one's perfect. I don't see how that warrants me as not being considered as their dad and their stepdad is.
When the girls go with you, they just want your time. When they're with you, they don't want you in your phone. They don't want you on dating apps. They don't want you taking naps. You have such limited time with them.
And I try to take advantage of every minute.
You have such a nasty temper. You have such a quick temper. They're on edge a lot of the time. The things that you've done to them, you have manipulated them. You have used them to stalk ex-girlfriends. You have had them lie about things. They don't want a relationship with you. But I don't know that that's right either. And my feeling is, if there's something wrong with you, like you really need help, then I hope that Dr. Phil can help. So one day, maybe they will want a relationship with you. But if you're just some evil guy that doesn't care about anybody's feelings but your own, then I want you to leave us alone.
We're upset about how you make us feel. And we wouldn't be in the situation where you have to not see us. If I have tried multiple things to try and have you see how I'm feeling, because I see your side. I see why you're upset. I see why you're angry. And you send us voicemails of you crying, and I understand that you care, but it feels like you're manipulating at the same time.
When I call you, I don't cry on the voicemails on purpose.
No,
I cry because you don't answer.
Here's one of those voicemails. Let's take a listen.
It's Daddy. I miss you, and been a while since we talked, so I was hoping to be able to get a chance to talk to you. If you could, please give me a call back. That would be great. I'd love to see how things are going and what you've been up to. So I miss you, and I love you, and I hope everything's going okay for you, okay? I hope to talk to you later. Later, beautiful.
I'm sorry. That does sound emotional, but that doesn't sound, it doesn't sound like crying. It just sounds emotional. It doesn't sound manipulative. It sounds sincere. It doesn't sound like it's on the attack. It just sounds kind of lonely and desperate. What's the problem with that?
It just feels very manipulative because we've texted him and told him we need some time.
So your problem is that you got a message at all.
It feels manipulative because we keep asking him, please stop. I love you a lot and I miss you.
I love you too.
But I just want your time. I don't want anything else.
Closed captioning provided by...
Coming January 21st.
The Samuels are looking to the D word, divorce, separate, something like that.
Did they say divorce or separate? What? We just had a whole show prep with our producer, and no one told me he was going to bring us up live on the air today.
She says that her and her husband are trying to fix their marriage of denying any divorce rumors.
All marriages go through stuff. Does that mean we're separated or getting divorced? Absolutely not.
Love and Marriage DC. New episodes, Saturday, January 21st at 8/7 Central.
I can't believe we're cleaning LeBron's place. LeBron who?
James! How about we throw the party in the King's house?
Hi.
It's a white man.
Oh, man, we going to jail, Kim. Is LeBron home? I was hoping to show him something.
Yo, man, whoa.
Sign my jurors.
Your hairline is perfect. Anyone who says otherwise is just jealous.
Nah.
House Party, rated R. Only in theaters January 13th.
To Beth for telling us about Peptiva Nighttime Probiotics.
To Beth.
Welcome, ladies. You know, the best thing about Peptiva is that I can digest food like a kid again.
No, the best thing is that I get to sleep like a kid again.
Digestion.
Ladies.
With Peptiva, you get both.
Peptiva is the first doctor-formulated probiotic that works at night with key ingredients backed by 7 clinical studies. And right now, you can get a complimentary sample by texting CUBE to 369369. Peptiva works while you sleep to soothe indigestion, cramping, bloating, even constipation, while promoting digestive health. And it has time-released melatonin to help you get the best sleep of your life.
Okay, girls, what do we have next week?
Tacos.
Wings. Chili.
Peptiva is flying off the shelves at GNC, but you can only get your complimentary sample by texting CUBE to 369369. Text now, and we'll include a box of Peptiva digestive enzymes to help your body digest meals and avoid occasional gas and discomfort absolutely free. That's CUBE to 369369.
If you ever found out that Marcel cheated on you, would you leave him?
I think that was too far. If you thought part 1 was shocking,
It became a thing, a really big thing. I get ganged up on.
Love and Marriage Huntsville is back.
To see if Melody ever held accountability for anything ever.
With more.
They're both wrong.
Reunion.
Don't play with me, girl.
Drama.
You call me all the time about other issues, do you not?
Love and Marriage Huntsville. New Reunion Part 2. Saturday at 8/7 Central.
People loved Maya. It's right there in her diary. I want to be a famous actor, singer, producer. One day she goes, hey, my agent wants me to go to this cheerleading audition.
Santana wasn't supposed to be this big character on the show.
It was obvious to me that she was going to be a big star.
And then all of a sudden, Naya Rivera was reported missing.
They were praying that she would be found.
The Price of Glee, 3-part limited series, Monday, January 16th at 9 on ID.
I can't believe we're cleaning LeBron's house.
How about we throw a party here?
We done messed up the koala.
You good?
What just happened?
House Party, rated R.
What would you two want the relationship to be with your father?
When we're with him, he doesn't take a lot of time to spend with us. He's doing other things. So I want his time, not his phone, not outside, not in his car. I want his time to be spent with me because I don't get to see him very often. And I love you. I do. I love you a lot and I miss you.
I love you too.
But I just want your time. I don't want anything else.
And I want you to give me your time too. Before it was always your social...
Wait, stop. What are you hearing her say?
I'm hearing you say that you think that I'm in my phone too much and I don't give you enough time.
Here's what I heard her say. I heard her say that she loves you very much, that she misses her time with you, that when she's with you, she doesn't want you on your phone, she doesn't want you out in the car, she doesn't want you focused on other things, that she wants quality time with her dad when the two of you are together. Do you know what a blessing that is? Do you know how many parents... Do you know how many parents right now are saying, what? What did she just say? I go into my kid and say, where you been? Nowhere. What'd you do? Nothing. Who'd you see? Nobody. Door slams. You have her sitting across from you saying, I want more time with you. I want you involved in my life. I want you to pay attention to me. Pull your head out and hear that you have a daughter over here pleading for your time and attention.
And this is why I've been trying to fight to be able to talk to them.
No, it isn't about fighting to be able to get access to them. It's about what you do when you have it. You have everything you want. These girls want you to be a father and just pay attention to them. You're so close to having everything you want if you will just get out of your own way. I ask you, why are you calling her names? Well, because she wanted me to find a retainer. Really?
There was more to it than that.
There's not enough. There's not enough to be calling her names. There's not enough for you to be calling him names. And you can sit there like Mother Teresa, but I can play these. I can play these. I can play these. I can show these graphics of text messages where you're calling him a rat bastard at the same time.
True. That's true.
So let's not get too self-righteous over here.
I'm not at all. I'm not at all.
The fact of the matter is, you two need to grow up and you need to listen to your daughters, because out of the mouths of babes, these are the two smartest people on the stage, including me. I've got a message for these two, and I'm going to get some help in delivering it. When we come back, these two beautiful young women are going to be sitting in the front row, and someone else is going to join us. We'll be right back.
People gonna talk in D.C.
They're claiming the Samuels are looking to divorce.
Him and his dad are not speaking.
Wait.
Welcome.
We're going to be out on our own little island. It's called peace.
I'm gonna go before I whip your ass.
The sisterhood just went out the window.
I'm back.
Then own them. And again, and again, and again.
Love and Marriage DC returns Saturday, January 21st at 8/7 Central.
I can't believe we're cleaning LeBron's place. LeBron who? James! How about we throw the party in the King's house?
Hi.
It's a white man. Oh, man, we going to jail, Kim.
Is LeBron home? I was hoping to show him something.
Yo, man, whoa.
Sign my jurors.
Your hairline is perfect. Anyone who says otherwise is just jealous.
Nah.
House Party, rated R. Only in theaters January 13th.
This is your chance. You keep her alive. Save her. You can save her.
You've come this far, and you know what's out there.
You have a greater purpose than any of us could have ever imagined.
The biggest game happens before kickoff.
Are you ready to tailgate?
Who will fumble? Who will be the beast of the feast? All new NFL Tailgate Takedown, Wednesday night at 9 on Food Network. Set your DVR.
He fooled everybody. Please don't let him have hurt somebody.
What did you do first?
Her mother. Why?
Because I wanted her here.
Evil Lives Here, all new season, Sunday, January 22nd at 9, followed by Signs of a Psychopath, all new season on ID.
I kneel before no one. I was a slave until I died. Then I was reborn a god.
Would you be interested in having an affair?
You need to be willing to bend the rules. You have no idea what loss is.
If you ever found out that Marcel cheated on you, would you leave him?
I think that was too far.
If you thought part 1 was shocking,
It became a thing, a really big thing. I get ganged up on.
Love and Marriage Huntsville is back
As if Melody ever held accountability for anything ever.
with more
They're both wrong.
reunion
Don't play with me, girl.
drama.
You call me all the time about other issues, do you not?
Love and Marriage Huntsville, new reunion part 2, Saturday at 8/7 Central.
We've had a pretty rough year in our family. Robin has a sister named Cindy, and she was, a lot of you may know that some 17, 18 years ago, she was a product of a random act of violence, and someone doused her with acid. And she had full depth burns over 70% of her body and had to have 20, 25 surgeries, face, all over her body, and she fought through that and she came through it. But then just this last spring, she had a serious heart problem. and she actually had to have an artificial heart transplant. She survived that and was up walking around, and then unrelated had a stroke and made the decision to have the machines turned off. While I was working with getting all that done with Robin's sister, my sister died. So we lost my sister and Robin's sister within about a month of each other. Then my constant companion, Maggie, my dog, died right in the middle of all of it. I hated that. Then just in the last few weeks, Robin's other sister went in for open heart surgery, got through it okay. Now she's had a stroke. She has a beautiful daughter named Jill. We got a message from her the other day talking about her ex. She had been divorced and her ex had passed away. I just felt like it's a great message for you and for everyone at home to hear. Will you read what Jill had to say?
My ex-husband and father of my 2 youngest children was tragically taken last week, doing what he loved. There are no rules for the ex-wife. I looked. I wasn't sure how I was supposed to feel, act, or be. I was distraught, particularly for my beautiful and devastated children. He'll never get to walk Madison down the aisle or meet his grandchildren. The sadness holds my heart tight. Don't get me wrong, we had both moved on, both remarried, and both very happy. I tell this story for a reason. I couldn't find anything on how to walk through this gracefully and respectfully. I know there are times of sheer dislike of our exes. I totally get it. I wish I had behaved differently. Life is so short. Encourage the relationships that matter. Grab someone's hand and squeeze hard. Give up being right. You may be wrong. I was. I often am, and I will be better. Rest in peace, John Gregory Camp.
Sometimes it takes something tragic to look back and say, I was a right fighter. I was wrong some of the times when I was so convinced I was right. And I wish I had done it differently. And I will get you professional help to work out a plan that puts them first, and it takes the two of you to move with some grace and poise.
It does.
And I will get you the help to do that. Fair
Thank
enough?
you. Fair enough.
All right, coming up, a trend that could be putting your teen's health at risk. We'll be right back. Closed captioning provided by...
I've decided to go to rehab. I'm still here, bitches.
We got a big surprise. Gage is going to be a big brother.
1,000-Pound Sisters, season premiere, January 17th at 9 on TLC.
Coming January 21st.
The Samuels are looking to the D word, divorce, separate, something like that.
Did they say divorce or separate? What? We just had a whole show prep with our producer, and no one told me we was gonna bring us up live on the air today.
She says that her and her husband are trying to fix their marriage of denying any divorce rumors.
All marriages go through stuff. Does that mean we're separated or getting divorced? Absolutely not.
Love and Marriage DC. New episodes, Saturday, January 21st at 8/7 Central.
Corey said he wanted to be famous.
This was his breakout role.
Corey got a copy of the pilot. I'm just like, this is gonna be huge.
Fame is difficult.
And I remember him specifically saying, I wouldn't wish fame on my worst enemy.
Hey, Corey, straight ahead, sir.
I get a call from his close friend crying. She's like, he's gone.
The Price of Glee, 3-part limited series, Monday, January 16th at 9 on ID.
There is nothing hotter than real, honest-to-goodness love.
Mama wanna tell you where it's at. I wanna get that.
I was made for this.
Get with it or get lost. You dropped the ball big time.
I'm throwing y'all my very own Miami yacht party.
It just shook up all of the dynamics.
Y'all ready for this?
If you ever found out that Marcel cheated on you, would you leave him?
I think that was too far.
If you thought part one was shocking,
It became a thing, a really big thing. I get ganged up on.
Love and Marriage Huntsville is back
To see if Melody ever held accountability for anything ever.
with more
They're both wrong.
reunion
Don't play with me, girl.
drama.
You call me all the time about other issues, do you not?
Love and Marriage Huntsville, new reunion part 2, Saturday at 8/7 Central.
I kneel before no one. I was a slave until I died. Then I was reborn a god.
Would you be interested in having an affair?
You need to be willing to bend the rules. You have no idea what loss is.
Okay, have you ever heard of vaping? That's V as in victory, A-P-I-N-G, vaping, using those electronic nicotine devices. Today, a growing concern for parents is the number of young people who are now vaping. So joining me to discuss the risks that may come with vaping devices is one of my favorite people, Pfizer's Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Frida Lewis Hall. So thank you for being here. Some people call them e-cigarettes, but what exactly is vaping? How does it work? And how long has it been around?
So they were first introduced about 12 years ago. And since then, the popularity has been growing, especially in teens and young adults.
Right.
Today, about 2 million middle and high school students in the U.S. use these devices. These devices come in many forms and shapes. So it's e-cigarettes, it's vape pens, personal vaporizers. But what's common to them is that take a liquid, heat the liquid with a heating element, that turns the liquid into an aerosol or a vapor, and that aerosol is then inhaled into the lungs.
That can't be good.
Well, it's a variety of things that's in. Propylene glycol is one common substance, vegetable glycerin, as well as nicotine.
We have a video question from a young adult, 19-year-old Jonathan. He says that he has been using e-cigarettes since he was 16. Let's take a look at the question.
I've been vaping for 3 years now. I smoke every day, all the time, whenever I can. Could I be addicted? And also, is vaping dangerous to my health?
Well, Dr. Free, could he be addicted to this?
Yes, but let me take a step back and ask the question, what actually is an addiction? And according to the American Psychiatric Association, an addiction is when a person compulsively uses a substance, even when it causes problems for them, and they're fixated on its use to the point that it starts to take over their lives. So Jonathan said two things. First of all, he said all the time.
All the time.
Whenever I can.
Whenever I can.
So that waved a couple of flags there.
All right, so what are some of the potential health risks to young people who are vaping?
We know it's been proven that nicotine is a highly addictive substance, as well as linked to other health risks. Second, young people using any product that contains nicotine, there's a risk, and that is nicotine can interfere or harm normal brain development. And many people think that you stop developing your brain early, but you know, we're still developing our brains into our mid-20s.
Right.
In addition to that, young people who use e-cigarettes may be more likely to go on to tobacco cigarettes. There's a recent study that found that amongst high school students, those that used e-cigarettes later went on to tobacco cigarettes at a rate 6 times greater than those who had not vaped.
Okay.
And so there are other things that may have potential health hazards. Like diacetyl, which has been linked to lung disease, or volatile organic compounds like benzene, or heavy metals like nickel and lead. So what I would say to Jonathan is, you have some health questions. The next best step is a trip to your doctor.
Now, our next video question is from Ashley. She says that she switched from cigarettes to vaping for the sake of her children. Take a look.
Look at Mom. I was a smoker for 9 years, and I was told it was safer around my children to vape, so I switched. And I'm wondering, is that actually safer around my children? Dad. Oh, I love you.
What about children who are exposed to secondhand vapor? Is it safer than secondhand cigarette smoke?
Yep, so Ashley may have traded some health risks for another set of risks. For starters, e-cigarettes, the emissions don't contain smoke, but they do contain toxins that can be irritants to the eyes, to the skin, to the nasal passages, and cause respiratory difficulties. Research has told us that the emissions in the vapor or in the aerosol can actually expose infants and young children to aerosolized nicotine and other hazardous substances. The Surgeon General has concluded that e-cigarette emissions are not harmless. So the healthiest choice is keeping the air free of both smoke and aerosol vapors. Well, we saw her little one in the video.
Right.
So the cartridges or the pods contain the liquid. And if that's ingested, it can lead to acute toxicity and even death. So that's really important to remember if you've got little ones around like that.
Right. So Ashley, sorry to bear bad news, but vaping is not a guaranteed way to protect your children from potential health hazards.
I do want to add my congratulations to Ashley for taking these steps to try and protect her children for the sake of her children. So parents, teachers, and caregivers can set a good example by being tobacco-free. If you still use tobacco, quit, and there is help available. I would encourage Ashley and others to make sure that your children understand that exposure to nicotine-containing products is not safe, and they should not do it.
Well, you know, I do want to give her credit for asking, trying to figure out the answers. And you can learn a whole lot more if you go to gethealthystayhealthy.com. I've said it many times, Robin and I love this site.
And of course, while you're there, you can sign up for our monthly newsletter.
Hopefully this has been educational for you. It certainly has for me. Thanks for talking about this.
No, thanks so
I want to thank all of my guests today, especially Dr. Frida Lewis Hall. If you have a story of life situation that you need my help, I'd love to hear from you. Just email me at drphil.com and just tell me all about it. Or if you'd like to be a part of our studio audience, the tickets are free. Just go to my website and click on Get Tickets, or you can call 323-461-PHIL. That's 323-461-7445. And be sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. We'll see you next time. Today on an all